Day 251. Hello, it is I, Dr. Brian Lorgan 111, and welcome back to Blueprints. It occurred to me that if I can get my hands on a telescope again, I can just coat check it from day to day and bring it to the planetarium very easily. I say I can bring it to the planetarium very easily because it's my commonest dead-end room, so I'm going to see it a lot that I can just draft it right at the beginning of the day. So the trick is just getting the telescope, and it either appears in her ladyship's chamber, which is somewhat hard to draft, or occasionally it appears in the walk-in closet. I think those are the two places I've seen it. I might have seen it in Lost and Found as well. But yeah, the act of drafting it, that is the tough bit. So I'm gonna just try to get to it, see if I can manage to get my hands on a telescope again, and I would like to witness all the things in the planetarium before we do much else moving forward. And moments later, wouldn't you know it? A spyglass telescope. I got it. I only had to draft a few more rooms. Okay, that works out great. While I'm here, is there anything else I need to do in here? I don't think so. So let's go witness something new in the place with the things and the stuff. That's not a bad place to throw down a passageway while I'm here, because I will still need to draft coat check. And I might as well go for conservatories. But yeah, if I come in here, telescope. That's a little planet. Is that Memora? Yeah, I think that's got to be Memora. Do I have to click on it? I do. Memora. Guiding light. Starting tomorrow, each planetarium will contain one ivory die. Oh, wow! That's actually a pretty nice boon. And the dirt piles are still here. So yeah, if you worked the planetarium at the beginning of the game, like, this could potentially be a huge room in terms of buffs and things. Like, I completely slept on that particular room, and I mean, that's the nature of a Knowledgevania kind of game, I suppose. Namely that you're going to learn lots of things later on in the game that would completely change a second playthrough and make it much more optimal, which is one of the reasons I want to do a second playthrough and make it much more optimal. Hey look, coat check. So I already witnessed the planet, so let's get my master key out of coat check. Keys, who needs those? Nobody, that's who. And let's check my telescope. Great. And then, other than, like, trying to throw a conservatory in the corner, like, do I care to do anything else with these runs? I mean, I could run a lab experiment to try to get some more stars, so I'd have more rerolls when I finally decide to go for broke and draft 20 dead ends in a day, which is definitely a thing I want to do. But I guess for now, I'll just take the study and we'll go do a whole bunch of rerolls in the corner and try to get the conservatory, because that seems like a plan. Okay, not a conservatory. Nope. Try again. Still no. Zing. Zang. Zoom. The freezer is problematic. I feel like it might be unusual and it needs to be rare. Gonna have to think about that one, because the freezer in the middle of a run could kind of be a run killer, and nothing matters now because it's a conservatory cost one to rent or something. I think it does. So even if I saw it here, I wouldn't be able to get it. Mailroom can help me out tomorrow, Laura. Okay, so we'll take the mailroom so that we get a package tomorrow. And then I'm in the break room, conveniently, which seems like a good place to call it today. Okay, but now we're going to go with the coat check planetarium plan for the next few days, so that we can witness, I presume, all 5 planets. And then after that, there probably won't be any more bonus. But if the planets are a necessary thing to fill out the lens so that there's nothing more to see or whatever, possibly with relating to the final puzzle, or maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree, we'll have it done. Our package today has a sleeping mask and some gems. Not bad, not bad. I'll grab my whatchadoodle in a second. There's the planetarium again. So we just need to find a coat check. There's my allowance, the whatchadoodle. Trophy room is my commonest elbow. So it's going to appear very early, give me a good run of gems. And then keys are one thing that I am going to struggle to get at the beginning of runs. And so I'm not really sure how to deal with that, but for now, I won't worry about it. But I'm really trying to like plan out a eventual draft 20 dead ends run, which will have to involve mostly putting dead end rooms on the wings, I think, because the wings are kind of the problematic rooms because of so many green rooms that can appear there that I don't really want. Dead ends would help you find coat check, so sure. We'll go ahead and witness Draxus. Recall that we can't witness the Spiral of Stars anymore, because if we do, it'll just immediately end the day. I could spend my money on some keys and things, probably. So yeah, commissary is an elbow that I'm leaving in the pool, because it's super valuable. Although it's more valuable when it's selling keys. I don't think I'm going to need the magnifying glass, the shovel today, so I won't bother spending the time. But we got to find ourselves a coat check. And the clock tower could start us with keys on another day too. That could be a good thing. Treasure trove. I could draft blue rooms by picking up the scepter. Planetarium is a blue room. Coat check is a blue room. That actually, and then I could call it a day in a blue room and keep drafting blue rooms, maybe? Maybe. Alright, let's pick up the scepter. Blue. Blue and confirm. There we go. Okay, blueprints, more common. We've already seen all the treasure trove memo cards that come out of those boxes. So I don't need to see more of that. I will spend my key. And, well, here's at least a break room. Sure. I guess I could have drafted the music room to get a couple of keys. But I could always do a puzzle here in the break room if I had to. I guess we'll take the classroom. It'll give us a redraw if nothing else. And a delicious apple. Not quite as delicious as it might be on another day, but what you gonna do? From here, I guess I'll... let's take a redraw that we get for free in here and see if we get something better. There's my coat check. It's a little bit of a hike to put the telescope back in at the end of the day, but that's fine. I can do it off camera. Retrieve item, telescope. Thank you. Into the planetarium we go. Telescope. That is Fenmora, the outermost planet. Fenmora, the red stone. Starting tomorrow, each planetarium will contain one apple. I see. Nice. Okay. This is very cool. I'm enjoying this bit. I'm going to try to draft a conservatory over in this corner before I head back. Except that's not going to be easy because I don't have many elbows left in the pool. Let's see if I can make my way around to this corner. Dovecote. Why don't you get rotated? I am finding that my dovecote comes up very often now. And so I do have many opportunities to rotate some of my T-shaped floor plans, which ought to be pretty useful for what I'm eventually trying to do. Okay, so we're trying to go for a conservatory. I could get another mail room, which is not awful. Let's go for conservatory. Study there could have been good, because then I could have spent a lot more gems trying to go for the conservatory in the other spot. Now I'm kind of stuck. Solarium is probably the least bad of those options, but they were all pretty bad. But there is another corner of the house where I get a few rerolls. But yeah, I definitely should have taken the study, because then I'd have another 8 rerolls over on this corner. But we live and we learn. Or don't learn, as the case may be. Alright, so in here, nothing's going to stop me now. I saw a green room and I got excited, but it was not the correct green room. Okay, we did not get our conservatory. We'll take a clock tower. So that we'll start with a key tomorrow. And then I'm going to go put the telescope back in the coat check. And then call it a day in the break room. It's as simple as that. Yeah, that was like an efficient 5-minute day. Like all the conservatory stuff I've done, I'm pretty happy once again with my deck. It's got a few tweaks it could still use, but my set of blueprints I think is going to work out pretty well. I'm feeling pretty comfortable drafting with these guys. I have a feeling for some reason I'm not going to get the planetarium in the first draw today, but that's okay. We'll work around it. Sure enough, it just smelled like it was going that way. We'll dump a dead end in here, because it's useful to get dead ends out of the pool. And we'll remember to grab our allowance in case we come across the commissary. And there's the planetarium. It's a little scary to only have one place to draft this early, though, so let's open things up a little bit more first. And by a little bit, I mean a little bit. Passageway. I'm a little low on gems right now, but I'm sure I'll run into a trophy room shortly, so not going to sweat it. Conference room. It's a nice T-shape to go over here. Hey, an apple. Nice. 2 steps for me. Num 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 num. I do still want observatory stars. And hopefully I'll gain a diamond back somehow. I get a key and the cross. Alright, so I'm out of gems. That's a little bit of a problem. So let's see if we can find a trophy room. Toot sweet. Planetarium, it's not a great spot to dump it. I'm not going to need steps today, so losing half my steps in the weight room is not a big deal. We're not drafting big houses. I'm not going to be taking that long of a walk. Archives is a little bit uglier. That's kind of a tough pill to swallow. So I think we'll just grab our dove coat. We do have plenty of keys. There's my trophy room. And I really kind of need the gems, even though it's ending, like, cutting off this portion of the house. Drafting with 0 gems is not a recipe for success. Drafting with 8 gems, however, completely different. Cloister of Draxus. We might get all the dead ends that I need, and if not, I could probably draw a secret passage with the rerolls. So I think I will do this. There's coat check and planetarium. I guess I'll go ahead and take the coat check first. Let's get my dice to appear. Sometimes if you interact too quickly before the dice appear, they don't appear, which is a oops, annoying bug. Telescope has been returned to you. Great. And I guess I'll draft this way. And we've got a bunch of rerolls. Planetarium's probably going to come up, like we just saw it a moment ago. I know it's in here somewhere. We'll go ahead and just take a Geist bedroom for now then. That's fine. Then we'll have a bunch of rerolls again. Okay, I'm up to 5, now I'm up to 7. So many rerolls. Planetarium, show yourself. There you are. Da -da -da -da. Planetarium. The shadow of death rolls over you. That is Dauja, also known as Saturday. Dauja. The Untamed. Starting tomorrow, each planetarium will contain one trunk. Wow. Like, this is such a good room. I never knew. I never knew. It went so long in the stage of not knowing, and now I'm in the stage of knowing, and it's better. Okay, so now we need to recoat check the telescope. And then, do I have a break room already? I don't have the break room yet. There's my conservatory, though. So even though the break room's there, we'll be able to get the break room somewhere else. Conservatory can only be drafted in the corner. Storeroom is standard, that's fine. Archives is standard, that's... It should probably be unusual. It should probably be unusual. It's better for me to get that later in the middle of the manor. I'm gonna need it for its doorways, but I don't want it too early because it's a real detriment. And this one is fine as standard. It's T, and we'd imagine I'd be having a security card. So that is all fine. Great, let's go find ourselves a break room. There was a gem here, by the way. I never even picked it up. Apparently I'm a slacker when it comes to picking up gems. And I don't need to bother getting the food, because the break room will be like in the next two rooms. Because look at all these rerolls I have. Hey look, it's a break room. It's just that easy. Boom. That was like another 5-minute day. Loving it. I feel like I'm being efficient. I had a particular goal in mind and I'm executing. It was a charming cottage, it sure was. Look how charming that is. You can't deny it. It's oozing charm. Alright, this time I'll remember to pick up the allowance right at the outset. And storeroom, sure. We'll take it for the keys. I always pick up that coin, but I don't really need it probably. And we'll go this way. Start things off today. Commissary. Spend a gem. Buy a bunch of keys and gems, and then not worry about anything. Salt shaker is a good thing. Gem, gem, gem. Salt shaker is basically just good for if you run into the weight room in the gymnasium. Not having to worry about things too much. None of these are super great. We'll take the hallway. And I will grab that key. Speaking of the gymnasium, here's the planetarium already, though. It would really cut me off, though. We'll get the planetarium. Oh, I should have rotated the gymnasium, probably. Oh, well. Ooh, security door. I have a security key card, though. Hello. And observatory. We get stars. We like stars. I forgot to rotate the observatory because, once again, I'm ignoring the dovecote. Don't be in such a rush that you ignore the dovecote. That's just foolishness. Okay, so I'm looking for a telescope. And a coat check. And here's the planetarium. I'm just going to go ahead and dump it off here. And I might as well run in and grab this stuff, right? Sure, why not? Ivory dice. Don't mind if I do. Got 6 keys. Trunk. Don't mind if I do. More dice. Great. Money. I don't even need to take it, but I accidentally clicked on it, so now it's in my inventory. Okay. Coat check. We'd only get 1 roll out of Draxus here, but that's fine. He'll give us some more dice. And maybe he'll give us the coat check. We'll see. No coat check here. I'm about to get more dice, so why not? There's my coat check. Da-da-da-da! We did it. The shadow of death rolls over you. Okay, I'm up to 6 hoo-has. So let us retrieve the telescope once more. And let's see, I've seen Dauja and Vea and Mamora and Fenmora. And the only other planet is our own planet, I think. So, what else could I witness? Oh, our own planet, Mora. Our colorful world. Starting tomorrow, each planetarium will contain a prism key. Wow. Okay. And now, as far as I know, let's actually look upwards. That is all 5 planets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Based on what I learned long ago in grade 4 classroom about the universe, the solar system, I guess, that we live in this world. So I do wonder what happens when I walk in with the telescope tomorrow. And you know I'm going to find out. So let's check the telescope again and go find ourselves a break room that doesn't yet exist. Okay, break room has been located. Now let's try to draft ourselves a whatchamadoodle. It's slightly more efficient if I can pull some other things out of the drafting pool to get the conservatory to pop up, but it just takes more time. And so if I get even the conservatory in like half the days, I feel pretty good about it. Attic is commonplace, that's good. I do like that dead end. Dining room is standard, I've been seeing it often enough. Vestibule is standard. That seems like it should be good enough as well. Is there any chance that I want it to be commonplace? It's kind of a high-cost room, so no, I think standard is fine. So yeah, I'm happy with all those. Okay, let's call it a day in the break room once again. And do this at least once more and discover what happens. Today we had a small cottage, whose small cottages don't come with a giant observatory with a 40-inch telescope popping out of it or something. 40-inch? It's got to be larger than that. Actually, are telescopes measured by the diameter of their lenses, maybe? In which case 40-inch might be plausible. I don't know. I'm awful at estimating distances in the first place. Yeah, who knows? Storeroom. Let's get it out of the pool. This time I'll be smart and not bother picking up the coin, because we already have sufficient allowance. One of the people I was watching play the game took advantage of, it's not even really an exploit, it's just like kind of 4 initial design decisions. You may recall the lab experiment, which enables you to, every time you look at your map, lose 10 steps and have the side effect of the experiment. The current version that I am playing only lets you do that up to 10 times, so it's the next 10 times you look at your map. Originally, it did not have that 10 times constraint, and as a result, it was the case that you could basically... I'm going to take the risk. You could basically set things up to get infinite lab experiments in one day. Because if you had, for example, I forget if it's like a bedroom and an indoor nursery or something, or the bedroom version of the nursery, or like 2 bedrooms from a chamber of mirrors or something, you could walk back and forth between 2 rooms and just farm steps. And so you could just keep farming steps, farming steps, farming steps, and then look at your map occasionally and just do that over and over. And so he basically in one day like got 1,000 extra allowance. Which is just ridiculous. So yeah, I think I'm glad that they changed it the way that they did. And yeah, I've been able to plenty of times activate the lab experiment 10 times. Okay, moment of truth. We have a telescope. I have a telescope in my inventory. I walked inside the planetarium. It is not offering me a prompt to use the telescope. So there's your answer. Once you've witnessed all 5 planets, there is no more bonus to be had. But this room is pretty great. I mean, now every day I come in here, there's going to be a die, there's going to be a key, there's going to be a trunk, and there's going to be some dirt. That's only 4 things. What was the 5th thing? There was the dirt. Oh, the apple. Right. So yeah, this is kind of the best room in the game. And it only took me 104 episodes to discover it. I don't think I'd appreciated the base of the conference room table up until now. It is more intricate in terms of woodwork than I had previously appreciated. Okay, I do not yet have a break room to call it a day in. So let's see if I can draft myself one of those. And actually, before I even do that, I don't have a blessing outside. I have 1 ivory die right now. I would like to get the secret passage set up again so that I can possibly do some more puzzling on the blueprints. And so let's see if we can get another reroll in one way or another. The study, there we go. Okay, there's my reroll problem solved. So that I can head outside and get a blessing of the monk. I've got plenty of money for it. And then we can come back inside and end the day in the break room. And of course the shrine comes up the first thing now that I have all the rerolls. I mean, I can't really complain about it. What am I saying? I definitely can complain about it. It's easy. No. See, I'm complaining about it right now. Simple. Okay, there's another week with the blessing of the monk. And I talked in a previous episode. Yeah, you can see it at the bottom of the screen. The second of the symbols looks a little bit like the bedroom closet, but really it's pretty abstract, and so I think I'm kind of stretching things there. But I haven't been doing a good job of trying to like keep my eyes open for anything that might look like the first symbol in the top of the box. Because I still think that might be a thing. Okay, and then do I want to call it a day in the break room, or do I want to try to find a secret passage so we'll have that ready to go? I think I still prefer the break room. I feel like I'm just about pretty well set up for the drafting strategy sweepstakes right now. And so I might want to try to knock that out next. I don't know. We'll see which rooms we actually manage to draft. Break room is almost certainly more likely to come up first. Just based on probabilities and things. But you never know. There's a high amount of randomness. I'm not sure if anyone was aware, but this is actually a roguelike. Or a roguelite. Or roguish. I'll just use the key. I feel like even trying to think about if the prism key is usable here. Alright, any of these doors unlocked? This one is. It doesn't really have what we need. We'll throw down a passageway. A break room or a secret passage. Okay, here's a secret passage. So I'll call it a day here, and then I will have options of using the blue book outside. Sounds good to me. Call it! That was a cozy cottage. I wonder what makes it cozy. I do wonder just how many names of, descriptions of your building you have at the end of the day. And the way that it builds it up, like so many roguelikes would show you, like a list of all the enemies you've killed. And so doing this drawing that's like a list of all the rooms you've drafted in the house is a clever variation of that. I appreciate what this game has done in that regard. I also just noticed it's day 255. I presume you can have more than 255 days, but that is a common final number in a variety of games, since it's basically kind of like the maximum byte, going 0 to 255. And I don't know that I've ever stayed on the screen for very long to witness this scene. I was watching someone else. But the music goes places. Let's listen to it and watch us creeping up on the campfire in the tents. So yeah, I appreciate that in addition to the strings, I guess it's like a piano that's playing a very simple tune in the background. But basically we just advance on the campsite and our cozy looking pillow at the end of the day. And then once the camera actually enters the tent, does it just fade to black? I guess there's nothing else visible in the background. And does the music actually end, or does it cycle? Sounds like it might be ending. But yeah, I had never let that play out before, and so I'm happy to do it at least once. Okay, I think this probably turned into a short episode, but we got to witness a bunch of planets and planetarium side effects, and so I'm actually pretty pleased by that. And so I'm going to say, oh dear, did I recode check the telescope? Feels like the type of thing that I would have done, but I don't remember for sure there. I guess we'll find out next time. I'm going to say that I hope, as always, that you all are having a great day, and I will see you again soon with more blueprints. For now, bye-bye.